Yuri on Ice does it again. It does it again. Yuri on Ice is making history. It's exactly what it's doing. The opening is not a lie. It's not trying to, be there just for a fancy opening. The opening straight up says what the series is trying to do. Make history. And I've talked about it so much, but it's something I need to talk about once again. I mean, for Yuri on Ice to be a ice skating series, like, it's focused on that. That's the main focus. Even in the tags, there's no yaoi in the tags. It's mainly just a sports anime trying to just focus on the character Yuri trying to become, a good person at sports, and for instance, skating, and he can eventually get the gold medal. That's kind of what his goal is, and that's what the series is about. And he also idolized Victor when, he was skating. And so, when you see this type of episode, it just amazes me how Yuri on Ice can make such a very controversial topic that normally manga or anime would never want to touch to this level, and they do it just flawlessly. It is really, really good. The execution on some of these themes is just mind-blowing. Something I have never seen done before to this extent. Hear me out. I know for a fact stuff like, yaoi has been done before. I know it's been done before in other anime and other manga. I know, gay romance has been done as well. I know it has. But I've never seen gay romance like this yaoi done the way it is done in this series. It feels natural. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like it's just trying to stand out and be the center focus and also be something that just distracts all the viewers from what else is really going on. I mean, even though this is a big point of the series of Yuri on Ice, we still know about all the other stuff going on. We know about the ice skating, how Yuri wants to get the gold medal. We know some of his motives, how he wants to change his character development, Yurio's character development, what's going on with Chris. All these different characters, they're getting their own individual development, and also we get to see their side of the story of why they're striving so hard to actually get a gold medal and be the world champion. And when you see how these yaoi themes, or, the gay romance is done in this series, it just continues to blow my mind the more I see it, because it's not the center focus, but the way it gets developed is way beyond what you normally would see from a shoujo romance. I'm not even shitting you right now. Like, I love romance. I love that genre. It's something that really got me into anime and manga when I really started reading different manga and anime, or watching anime. I was into the romance genre. And just seeing how Yuri on Ice is doing this gay romance, to be honest with you, it is way better than the regular stuff I've seen of romance. It's way better. Not just because it's a gay romance, but just because the way it's done, it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like it came out of nowhere. It doesn't feel like they need to be together because, they're the main characters. It doesn't feel like that. It actually feels like these two have grown together. They've known each other for a while. They realize, how compatible they are, and they continue to help each other out in any situation they are. For instance, with the dog, Victor's dog, and how his dog was, in bad condition, and, Yuri's like, hey, you need to go see your dog. Just these little scenes and these interactions between these characters make the relationship feel real. It doesn't feel like something that's forced to happen. Oh, this is the main male character, this is the main male or female character, they need to be together because it just needs to happen. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. There's actual development and romance buildup going on that's not forced. And Yuri on Ice continues to do that, and it's what really continues, like I said, to blow my mind, the way it is executed. It's the execution of some of these things that is just so gripping when you watch these episodes. And one of the big things about this is that when you see the engagement ring, like when you see the ring given to Victor gets a ring, Yuri gets a ring, and you just see how it's focused on for a quick second, us as the viewer, we know what that meant. We know that was like saying, oh, these two are getting engaged. That's what we assumed, because that's kind of what a lot of the themes of, Yuri on Ice has been about. But when we actually see how it said, oh, this is just like their, gifts to each other, and how this is for, like, oh, this is going to make it to where you're lucky in your next competition, and, everything goes well, it's kind of a good luck charm, it didn't really seem to focus on it too much. It was kind of like, oh, it's not really an engagement ring, but in our minds, we can pretty much consider it as it because of all the different things and themes that Yuri on Ice has done, so we automatically assume it was for maybe an engagement or, marriage, but they said it was just as a lucky charm. Well, the scene continues on, and I thought it was going to be focused at all for the rest of the episode, or probably nowhere until, like, maybe next week's episode. And when the next scene came around, and we have every character just meeting, talking with each other and all that, they talk about the past and how Yuri was drunk and started dancing. I'll get into that in a moment. It just blew my mind away with some of this build-up and the interactions Yuri has had with these characters. It just makes so much more sense now. And when it focuses once again on the ring, it's like, congratulations on your marriage. I'm like, yo, what? Like, it's focusing on it. Like, it's straight up focusing on it. And I'm like, they are not trying to hide it. And then my respect levels exceeded all expectations. I've already gained a lot of respect for Studio MAPPA for what they've done with this series. How they've handled these controversial themes that not many anime or manga want to handle. I've already respected them quite a bit after what they've done so far. But when I saw how they came back to the rings, and then they mentioned the marriage, and the way it was done, it wasn't done in a way that just tried to look corny, comedic. It wasn't trying to just make fun of it. It wasn't trying to do none of that. It handled it in a serious, in a polite manner. That's how it was done. It was handled like what you would see normally from an anime or manga if it was to do, like, a guy and a girl having a marriage. That's kind of how it was handled. And that's what really exceeded my expectations, and my respect levels for Studio MAPPA just increased. The director, the production team, the animators, just the entire team that is working on Yuri on Ice. I really just want to say, if I had a hat, I would tip it to you for how much skill you're putting into this series. It just truly is amazing. And when you see how that scene was done, how everybody was so accepting, for instance, oh, congrats on your marriage, everybody's happy and all that, smiling, it's an engagement, and the way it was just done, it wasn't being made fun of at all. Like, the marriage was not being made fun of, and it was something that everybody genuinely accepted. And that's what I liked about the scene, because, look, this is 2016, almost 2017. We're at the point in time right now in the world where many are generally accepting of this type of situation with, this relationship. How gay marriage is. And when you see how this is done, I'm like, damn, they're handling it in such a mature way. And so, yeah, just blew my mind. Next scene I want to talk about, let's talk about the video in the middle of the ending song. That ending song. Holy hell. That ending song. That ending song explains so much about Yuri and Victor's relationship and Yuri's connection to the other characters and why they kind of know him or they're friendly with him. Now I understand why. And now I understand why Victor was so interested in Yuri, but also why he told Yuri to actually do Eros. Now we know why. It makes so much more sense now when you take a moment to consider that ending, that clip with Yuri dancing while he was drunk. It now makes so much more sense. Let me clarify. As we know, Eros is about, a playboy that, snatches a person away. And that's exactly what you could assume from that drunk dance that Yuri was doing. He was being a playboy, and he snatched Victor away. He seduced him. And then eventually he became Yuri's coach. The song that, Yuri's been doing, and the meaning behind it, the reason why that came about in the first place was thanks to what Yuri did when he was, drinking and dancing. And Victor saw that, and that's what caught his eye. Also, Chris's interaction with Yuri makes so much more sense now. Yurio as well. I mean, it just makes so much more sense when you really take a moment to think about how these characters have interacted with each other since the early episodes, and how this was finally revealed. We now know why. This has been building up, and now we know why Victor has just so much interest in Yuri. It's because of that. So, well done. Well done. Yuri on Ice. Tip my hat. If, I had one. So, this series, it's too good. It's too good. And it's one of those series, I'm going to say, it's going to be something that many are going to look back to. But when this series is said and done, and when you could say Yuri on Ice is done, many of us are probably going to look back at this as kind of like the big change. Something that really changed how we view how gay romance is done in anime. This is definitely a changing history. It's definitely something we have never seen before, with how some of these things are done. So, Yuri on Ice, just respect. So much respect for the series. And once again, directors, the voice actors, to everyone that's participating with this anime and helping it out and, making it, stand out. Just all of them need a pat on the back for what they're doing for this series. It still amazes me this is a series not focused even on the yaoi themes. What I'm getting at is, it doesn't have the yaoi tag in it. It doesn't have nothing like that. It's still just a sports ice skating series. That's what it is. But somehow, it does a romance like this even better than what normal romance can do. So, yeah. Anyways, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.